right. Let's see. Office, okay, sweetheart?
Okay.
Okay. So you can come in there if you want to, or not. Okay.
Can you come and carry my...
I'm kind of carrying a lot of stuff myself too, but we'll make it work because that's what we do, right? Hi everybody. I'm gonna move locations here because I have a terrible connection in my office. So, you got everything? Hey, good job, buddy. Okay. Hi, everybody. Good night. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Hopefully, the cats will let me do this so we can chat. It's their dinner time, and they get pretty feisty with me, but I was trying to hide in the office from them, but it's not gonna be able to do that. So, all right. Hi, everybody. So excited to see everybody. I can't believe you guys came. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, hello. All right. So I'm just gonna get a couple other things. Say hi. A couple other things set up since we had to move real quickly. Let's see here. I don't want you guys to have a big old glare. Miss Lisa says, hi, Junior. Yes. Okay, so we're going to try to do it this way here. I'm hoping. I'm so sorry, guys, but while everybody's getting on, I'm just going to try to see if I can set up something else that might allow. The video kept getting interrupted when I was sitting back in my office, so I'm going to see if I can be creative here and do something differently. That's how we roll, right? Okay. Let's see here. Whoa. Hi, everybody. Okay. I think that, okay, I have all my bars now. And I just need something to set this on. Okay. This is crazy. Okay. Let's just try this here. I'm not going to have my stuff in front of me the way I'd hoped so, but that's okay. We can make this work. Hey, Nicholas, can you do me a favor? On Mommy's desk is my glass of water. Would you mind please bringing that to me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Mommy's at the age now where he can go and pick things up for me, which is very nice. Anyways, okay. All right. Well, I promise everyone that we're going to keep this to an hour or less. So we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Okay, so that's always a fun way to start off a live video, by having to move your entire production to a different room. But that's okay. We can do this. Give me just 1 second to gather myself. I hope everyone's doing really well. We've had a good Sunday. We've had a wonderful Sunday. We're actually getting ready to get on a plane to go meet up with Daddy. He's been working in Colorado. So we are headed out tomorrow for family vacation, which is very, very exciting. I'm very excited about it. Been looking forward to it for a long time, actually. So very glad to have you all here. Gonna take a deep breath, and why don't we go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and pray, just because I really want the Holy Spirit to lead us tonight. So let's go ahead and start the evening off in prayer. Dear Lord, I just ask that you would be here in this live event tonight. I ask that you would just be present, and whatever it is that you want, you would have us to hear and to learn, please let that be. Please allow me to decrease and you to increase and take over. In your precious Son's name we pray. Amen. All right, so very excited that you all are here. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy lives to be here. I have some notes, because if I don't have notes, I will keep you here forever. Those of you that know me very well know that know that I might ramble on forever. And on that note, I'm going to wait to read comments until a little bit later in the event, because as you can tell, I just got completely sidetracked, and that's not anyone's fault. It's simply because I have that compulsion to want to read and answer questions and interact right away. But we're all very busy ladies, I know, and so we want to stay on track. And so I'll come back to any questions or comments. So feel free to comment, question, like, love, dislike throughout, and I promise I'll go back to them. So in fact, your interaction is very appreciated. So I'm going to read the comments a little bit later, because I have that kind of problem being like, oh, there's a squirrel. No, anyways. And then the other thing I want to say right off the bat is that I am not a certified trainer or a registered dietitian. I did not invite you here because I've devised some biblically based workout program or some what would Jesus eat diet. No. That's not the case. I do not have a magic pill, and I do not have a quick fix or an overnight miracle that I wanted to share with you guys, okay? What I do have is a desire for all of us to open up that compartment in our lives that we have labeled health and fitness. Let me use this as a visual. That we've labeled as health and fitness. I want us to open up that compartment, and I want to let Christ into it. See how hard it is for us to do that, right? So if you're like me, you have several different compartments that make up your life. You are a mother, you're a wife, you are a friend. If you're not a wife, maybe you're a girlfriend or a single mom. Maybe you, obviously you have a job, I'm sure, of some sort. You have your church, you have your ministry, you have friendships, and then you have your health and fitness. Some of these compartments bring lots of joy, right? So being a mom, being a wife, being all of these things, having friends, and that part of your lifestyle, they bring a lot of joy.
Mama.
Yes, sweetie?
Can you get me another juice?
You can go get one out of the refrigerator if you'd like to. They're in the bottom drawer. Like I said, they bring us a lot of joy, right? Just kidding. Some of them not so much. Even though they're hard, they still bring us joy, but some of them not so much, right? They make... what can I say? For me, and for many of you, this compartment, the purple one, I guess, is going to be our health and fitness compartment, is like, meh. I know I should pay attention to this, but what a chore. I failed so many times. I don't know what to do anyways, so the compartment just kind of goes to the back, goes behind everything else, right? Now, as Christian women, we know, whether or not we practice this, but we should believe and know that if we let Christ into these compartments, take the lids off and let him pervade all of these compartments. I had this cute little cross that I was going to use for this illustration, but it's in the office where the connection was bad. So, work with me here. Excuse me. We know that if we let Christ into these compartments, he grows us, he trains us, he disciplines us to be better. Better mothers, better friends, better students, better wives. I'm a really bad wife when I don't have Jesus taking the wheel. But this compartment over here, the health and fitness compartment, we wouldn't dare share this one with Jesus, right? This one would make us very selfish. It's all about me anyways, right? So all of these other compartments are way more important. I should bother Jesus with this kind of stuff. But this one here, not so much. Well, first of all, as a quick side note, I want to say that just like my post said earlier today, you can't be good for anybody if you're trying to pour out of an empty cup, right? We've all heard that adage and that quote that I posted today about you can't serve anyone out of an empty vessel. So you can't be a good mom, you can't be a good wife, you can't be a good employee, a good friend, a good business owner, a good anything, unless you're actually pouring into your own cup. And I believe that that is... Nicholas, please don't kick the phone. Please put your feet down. Speaking of the mom compartment, Nicholas, you can't have your feet right there. You need to put your feet down, please. Anyhow. So anyways, as I was saying, better mom, better wife, better employee, thank you, perfect. Better friend, if we're filling this up, right? I'm going to suggest that we open this compartment. Lids off, okay? We let Christ into this part of our lives and allow him to direct us and lead us. Ask him to help us set our health and fitness goals. Ask him, what does success look like for me? Not what does the scale number need to be, not which model or which fitness super trainer do I need to look like, but Christ, what does a healthy, fit, God-honoring body look like for me? And I'm going to take it another step further. I'm going to suggest another profound idea, that we do this together. Right? Why do we take on this health and fitness journey alone? We aren't meant to do life alone. And this is part of life. This part included. Accountability in our spiritual life is key. I hope you all would agree with that. I know that for sure. I have an accountability partner that will kick me in my shins if I start getting too crotchety or getting too close to the line of boundaries that I've set. Okay? So accountability is key in our spiritual lives. It is key also in your health and fitness journey. This is a part of life. This shouldn't be something we're just shoving to the back behind all the other compartments that we have. Okay? So two profound ideas. They're actually, I'm not calling myself profound, but these ideas were profound to me. The idea that I should actually take the lid off of not just being a mother, being a wife, church, ministry, work. Don't let Christ just into all of those compartments. Let him into this one too. And then share it. Share it and be willing to keep someone else accountable as they keep you accountable as well. Let me tell you where this idea and this profound shift started for me. My health and fitness journey is a long, treacherous, painful one, and it's definitely for another time. But I will sum it up real quickly for those of you that don't know my journey by saying that it includes all types of dieting, punishing, strenuous exercise, binging, purging, all in secret. Ups and downs for the better part of 29 years. I've been way underweight, I've been way overweight, both of which dozens of times. I turned 40 last year. A few months after I had that milestone birthday, I hit a point of desperation in my health and fitness journey. Not only was I physically heavier than I had been really ever, aside from pregnancy, at least in 15 years, but moreover, I felt absolutely crummy. I felt absolutely out of control of my health and fitness. I was bordering on depression, which I've struggled with for many years. I was just no energy, not a lot of fun to be around. I was afraid of old destructive patterns coming back. And at one point, a few months after I turned 40, like I said, I found myself in a point of desperation. I found myself actually in tears, on my knees, on the side of my bed by myself, of course, because this is all done in secret, right? Begging the Lord for the answer, to deliver me from the bondage that food, health, and fitness had held me in for so long, that I had allowed it to hold me in for so long. I begged for the next 40 years of my life to look differently. And I finally, like all the other compartments in my life, I had taken the lids off years ago on many other things, but I finally took the lid off of this compartment. And I said, Jesus, please come into this one. Come into this aspect of my life. Your word says you want all of me. This is part of me. It's actually been a huge part of me. So come into this one too. That was not some kind of epiphany that came down that I got myself. I actually had just recently been studying. I had come across the scripture Romans 12:1, which is definitely by far the baseline motivation for Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful. I'm going to read it to you. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. I had come across that scripture just right before this point of desperation, and I know I had read it many times, but I saw this as a completely different, I read the scripture in a new way. Like the Bible is just so amazing, right? We can do that, come back to something years later, and it means something totally different to us in the season that we're in. But what I meant was that it was a new concept for me, that exercise, health, fitness, what I put in my body could actually be and is, the scripture says, true and proper worship. So here I was trying to be, a godly wife. I take the lid off the biggest compartment for that because that's just really where I suck big time when I don't have God in there. Take the lid off of being a mother. Take a lid off of being a good office manager at work. Take the lid off of friendships and let the Lord guide my friendships and lead me in that way. Take the lid off of church and ministries and how I serve, and instead of holding it on and controlling it, let Him lead that. But this one, which always felt so awkward, so personal, so secret, take the lid off of this one too. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. I absolutely adored that concept. And it's embarrassing to say that 40 years in, this side of heaven, and 29 years into this journey that's been mostly a struggle, I obeyed. And I took the lid off of that compartment and I let Jesus into that. I did not, I'd not truly taken my hand off of the wheel from this. And so when I did that, I can say that in that moment on the side of my bed, lightning didn't strike. I wasn't healed immediately. But a very short time later, a Facebook friend invited me to a Facebook accountability group for health and fitness. I would never have done something like that prior to that moment in desperation on my knees on the side of the bed when I gave this over to Christ. Because as I said, and like I think we all have done, we keep that part of us, that compartment, secret. We don't share that, especially not on social media. But the timing, I could not refute the timing. I had given this over, this compartment of my life, taken the lid off, given it over to Christ for the first time. And a friend of mine on Facebook, her name's Kelly Hill, she invited me to be a part of an accountability group, and I could not refute the timing. I was in. I just said, whatever. I literally have tried just about everything else, all good, all bad, and everything in between. Doesn't work on my own, so I'm going to jump in here. I knew from being Facebook friends that she and I both have the shared faith, and so I thought, well, she's not going to take me down the wrong path, right? And so I was all in. I simply loved the little daily challenges, the little posts and educational and informative posts that she would give to us, the photos, the photo challenges and the comments and the things that she would ask us to do to keep us engaged, to keep us accountable. I loved them. The concept of sharing this, going into it, like sharing with other women. Like, aren't we supposed to not like each other? Like, I just got over that hump several years ago, right? But now I'm going to talk about my health and fitness goals. Anyhow, it was very simple for me, and I pretty soon after realized that that was an answer to my prayer, my desperation that I had been in at the side of my bed that day. Nicholas, shh, excuse me. Yes, everybody knows you're here. I'm sure they can hear you. Okay. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the hugs. Back to that mom compartment, right? Okay, bear with me just a moment. Okay, so I counted it as an answer to prayer, especially because it was so out of character for me to do something like this. So anyways, I loved the tough love, the check-ins, the accountability. I love the prizes. In fact, I was so in that month that I actually won
this backslash.
Thank you, Nicholas. But you know what? I'm actually doing something right now. Thank you, sweetie. Where's the mom compartment? Take the lid off. Jesus. Anyhow. Okay, Nicholas, you can't put your feet right there. Okay? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Nicholas, that's enough. Thank you. Ooh, okay. Anyways, in fact, I loved the prizes and the participation so much that I actually won the participation award in that accountability group in November. I was in, like I said. So I signed up again in December, and believe it or not, through the holidays with the accountability and some of the programs and practices that they were talking about in the groups, I actually lost weight during the Christmas season, which was astonishing, right? When does that ever happen? I blocked myself actually from setting any kind of outlandish goals, setting myself up for failure or anything like that. And instead, I simply just asked the Lord, what would you have for me? Every month that I would start a new accountability group with these women, just say, Lord, what would you have the goals for me to be this month? Whether it be a number on the scale, which is actually very rare for me. I don't usually look at the number on the scale, or number of workouts, or type of eating, that kind of stuff. So really just trying to let him lead me for the first time. Let him determine what was the best way for me to honor my body for him. Needless to say, I continued with the accountability groups and dove more and more into the programs. As a little side note, I actually really loved finally doing something good in Facebook. And Facebook actually can serve an amazing purpose when it's used for good things, but most of us know that it can also be a time suck and actually be quite a field for yuckiness. So it was actually really wonderful to log in and be getting all this powerful encouragement and accountability and feeling very empowered while spending some time on Facebook. Anyhow, I continued with the groups. I dove more and more into the programs and the nutrition and eating plans that the ladies were doing, and the lifestyle changes that a lot of the women in the groups were doing, my new friends actually that they were doing, and I'll speak to some of those specific things a little bit later. Through the process though of letting the Lord lead my health and fitness journey and being active in the accountability groups, I have found such freedom in this compartment. In fact, there's really no more compartment. I like to just say that Jesus is woven into that part of my life now too. That's where Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful was birthed. After almost 3 decades of ups and downs in this health and fitness journey, some ups, but lots of deep, deep downs, to finally have found such freedom with this part of my life. How could I not share? How could I not share the freedom that's available to us when we let Christ into this compartment and we follow his command to do life together? Seriously though, backing up real quickly, just to earlier today, I was in the shower and I was like, Amy, what the frick are you doing? What do you know about health and fitness? Well, I'm learning more now. I'm learning positive things about health and fitness now because I want to, not because I have to or because I'm torturing myself or punishing myself. But what I do know, and the reason that I feel bold enough to sit here and talk to you about this, is that Jesus wants every piece of us. What I know is that the bondage I was in before versus the freedom that I have now, that's where the team came in. So what does that look like for us? Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful will be a free closed group, a ladies only group here on Facebook, okay? It's going to be free because I want there to be no reason that we can't all be doing this together. And all of us go through different seasons, some of them financial. So I don't want there to be any reason that we can't be on this journey together. And I don't want money to be a reason that it couldn't be, okay? Closed group because I want this to be a very safe space. I want this to be a safe space for us to be able to share. If we have prayer requests, if we have struggles, if we have before photos we want to share for accountability, we'll talk about all of that later. But I just want this to be a safe space. And also that's why it's a ladies only group, okay? I want this to be a place where if you need to ask for prayer for your marriage or for your relationship, that you can, and you can know that it's a safe space. And anyways, just the bottom line is we know that I believe it could be a much more safe and conducive and open and transparent group if we don't have men in here. My husband is on board with this. He gave me blessings that he's going to be one of my biggest cheerleaders. Probably he said he'd be my second because Nicholas would be my first. And he's actually on this same kind of journey with me in a different capacity, but he's not going to be part of this group. He wouldn't want to be in this because, you know, anyways. All right, so after a lot of prayer and different words and putting pen to paper, time out. Nicholas, can you lower your voice, please? I know we're inside, so I want an inside voice, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so here's our mission statement for Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful. We are a community of women finding our identity and hope in Christ as we encourage each other with love and accountability on our health and fitness journeys. Pretty basic, right? That's actually a long sentence, but you know, it took me a while to get all of that in there. In this group, my hope and prayer is that you will find hope, encouragement, accountability, and a safe space to share. I want us to share recipes, share our workouts, share your goals, your prayer requests, your struggles, your successes. Let's lift each other up and cheer each other on. What do you think? Anyways, it's a girls only group. Anyways, you'll see a lot of him actually. And Luke, my running buddy, is also a dude, but you know, that'll be the extent of the testosterone. Now, I am betting you're getting where the words fit and faithful come into the name of our team. But there's also fierce. Fierce definitely is going to apply. Fierce definitely is going to apply to accountability. So accountability is definitely encouragement. It's definitely positive talk. It's definitely motivational images and scriptures and stuff like that. But accountability, like I said earlier, is also about kicking each other in the shins, or like my pastor said earlier today, kicking each other straight up your tailpipe Yes, he said that from the stage. When you're getting off track, okay? So that's partly where the fierce comes in. The other fierce comes in right here. There are 3 requirements to be part of Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful. Number 1, you must commit to show up to the group a minimum of 2 times per week. I encourage daily. I need accountability and encouragement daily. But when praying on a number for a commitment, okay, I'm going to ask you to leave it to the girls now, and please go back over there. Here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I'll do it.
All right, bye-bye then.
Okay.
Anyways, okay, so like I said, I encourage daily. I need accountability and encouragement daily. My struggle bus, especially with this journey, is something that I look for encouragement and accountability every day. Actually, I need it for every compartment that's open and flying and whirling around. That's why I talk about how I get up really early. No, baby, over there. That was our deal. Thank you. I get up really early before the rest of the house, and I have my quiet time, and I do my devotion with Jesus so that all the compartments are wide open. And now I have the Chihuahua. She's knocking the phone over too. That's another compartment I have. Pets, right? Okay. Anyways, back to this. Anyhow, although I encourage daily, when I was praying on this number for the commitment, I got 2. I kept getting the number 2 over and over, so that's what we're going with. Out of respect for busy schedules and social media presence. I know some of you like to fast from social media during the week or only allow yourself a couple times a week. By no means do I want Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful to get in the way of that. So minimum commitment is you have to check in twice a week, and it's going to be for the most part on the honor system, but we all know who's watching when you make this commitment. So checking in can look in a lot of different ways. Obviously, I would love for the check-in to be, a nice big photo post of you and maybe your workout buddy or your workout furry pal, and just, a quick blurb on how your week was going and how your workouts are going, or prayer requests. But even the check-in can be just simply coming to the page and loving on someone else, commenting on somebody else's pictures. I think, though, that you will find that daily interaction is what you're going to find, and you're going to want to check in often, because I want this to be a place for spiritual encouragement as much as it is for health and fitness encouragement. There will be incentives to show up, and we'll get to that later on down the road. I'm thinking prizes, recognition, so hint, hint. But the commitment number 1 is you got to show up at least twice a week, and you got to show up more than just a like on my weekly post or something like that, okay? I know all of you are on Facebook. We all are Facebook friends, and we follow each other, so most of you are on Facebook every day. You can check it. Anyways, okay, enough with that. Number two, you must commit to a workout regimen. We're going to have cycles within this group. Most of them are going to be monthly cycles. I'll talk about the first cycle, though, here in a little bit. Cycles are about a month long or so. And at the beginning of each cycle, that's one of the components of accountability. We are going to commit to a workout regimen. Now, it's not going to, like I said, I don't have some biblically based workout program that I'm going to impose on all of you, okay? If you need direction and you would like to know what I'm doing, I'll speak to that in a while. I'm happy to share that with you. It's obviously working for me very well. But I know that many of you on this call or on this event are CrossFitters, and oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh wow, Nick loves CrossFit. It's crazy to me, but it's crazy cool. Some of you like to go to the gym, some of you like to do weights, some of you like Zumba, some of you like to get out of the house. I run. Luke Skywalker comes with me on runs. I love going outside. It helps me get the cobwebs out. I usually listen to a sermon or podcast or a great worship mix while our deal is you're over there.
I'm a sumo wrestler.
I know. You're over there. So some of you like to run. I'm a runner. I like to run, and I do at-home workouts as well. If you've seen my posts, you kind of see I do a hybrid, and there's actually some pretty structured hybrids that I do. And so I'll speak to that in a while if you'd like to know specifically what I do. My mom, she walks, and she commits to a certain number of walks that are a certain distance each week. So we're going to commit to a workout regimen on each cycle, and I'll make sure that's very clear for everybody. And we're going to put that out there in the group and sign up to it and commit to it, because then we're all holding each other accountable to that. Whatever that is for you, whether it's 2 to 3 times a week, whether it's every day, whether it's 6 times a week, 6 days a week. I'm all about rest days. But you must commit to some type of workout regimen. And the reason for this is it's so important to move. As I mentioned earlier in the event, I have struggled with clinical depression off and on for many years. And what I know from experience is when you're moving and getting those endorphins going, old man gloom is not going to be knocking on your door as much.
Mama?
Yes?
I think I want to drink.
You want what? Well, I have a water right here, okay? We can share that for now. All right. The other reason, even if you don't struggle with anything like that, is fitness is so important to keep your body moving. This temple that God gave us to just get us moving. You've got to be good to yourself before you can be good to anybody else. And I will argue with any of you that say moving and exercising to some extent, whatever that might be, whether it's like my mom who goes and walks 2 to 3 miles, or whether it's like Lucy or Juliet here on the call that do CrossFit and blow my mind when they're wearing the weighted vests and go nutty. You got to move, okay? So that's second commitment. You have to commit to some kind of workout regimen, okay? The third and final commitment that you have to commit to if you want to be part of this team, is you have to commit to pray for this team and for the members. When prayer requests come out and posted, I want all of us to know that we're praying for each other. Now, that doesn't have to mean that you're, getting on your knees or lighting a candle or doing something like that. It doesn't have to be some huge, big thing. It can be if you want it to be. What it means is that you are intentionally praying for this team and for the members. Even if there aren't prayer requests going up, I'm asking you to commit to pray for the team, that we make sure that Jesus stays at the center, that we don't lose sight of that and start focusing too much on the numbers on the scale or how many workouts we've gotten in or what have you. We need to make sure that anytime we take on some kind of new ministry, for lack of a better word, or new commitment to honor Christ in any way, and right now we're committing to honor Christ with our health and fitness with our bodies, we need to know that we're covered in prayer. And I'm asking you to commit to cover this group and its members in prayer. I did consider a number 4 commitment.
Hello, guys.
Excuse me. That was food related. But I just really couldn't come up with anything that wasn't dicey and that was very clear. What I'd like for us to do as far as nutrition is to just start off by sharing anything that we're doing individually. I know that some folks are doing Weight Watchers. I'll share what I'm doing here in a little bit. What I really just focus on is portion control, and I focus on eating clean 80% of the time, because I gotta have my 20%. Any of you that know me well know that I'm all about movie popcorn and milk duds. I really am not giving that up. So I'll share, of course, what's been fantastic for me. But I think because of my struggles with food in the past, and because none of us are registered dietitians, and I don't have one specific diet, paleo or the whole diet or all of these other ones, I didn't want to have a commitment that we have to do for that. Maybe something like that will come as we continue to pray on this group and get to know each other better and hold each other accountable. But for now, we'll share recipes and try to spur each other on, and I'll share what I've been doing here in a little bit. Now, interestingly today, my pastor, Pastor Todd Cook at Sagebrush, he taught a message. that ties in very well to the mission of our group. I love those kind of God moments, don't you? He taught about Daniel and how he made up his mind not to... I thought we had a deal, sir. Nicholas, this is not okay behavior right now, okay? I'm going to ask you to please go on the other side of the camera, okay? And you can come back in a little bit and say goodbye. Thank you. Okay, so anyways, he taught about Daniel and how Daniel made up his mind that he was not going to eat the royal food that had been sacrificed to idols. That he made up his mind that he was honest and bold about that, and that he shared that out loud, and that he had a band of brothers alongside him, the other folks that were taken captive as slaves, a band of brothers alongside him to keep him accountable in that profession that he made. So interestingly, I'm sitting there taking notes, and he says, Daniel made up his mind. He made up his mind he wasn't going to eat that food. In this case, I'm asking you, will you make up your mind to commit to those three things? Second thing Daniel did, and that Pastor Todd challenged us to do, was to make it public. This group isn't public. Like I talked about earlier, it's going to be a closed group so that we can be transparent. But hey, this is pretty public. I mean, there's several of us here. It's social media. We're going out of our comfort zones. So by holding each other accountable in this way, we're making it public. And we're not so much a band of brothers, but a band of sisters to keep us accountable. So I just really liked how that kind of tied in today with the message. Like I said in my video from the park earlier in this week, when Luke and I actually stopped mid-run, excuse me just a moment, Nicholas, you are not allowed to do that anymore, okay? Do I need to ask you to go to the other room? Okay, why don't you go to the other room, please, and I'll be with you in a little bit. Thank you, sweetie. He gets that same look that his father does. Anyways, like I said in my video in the park, when Luke and I literally stopped mid-run to do that live video, some of this concept for Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful is still up here. This week, though, I've really been putting pen to paper. I've been working with an amazing young lady who actually works in our store, and she's also very young and very social media savvy and internet savvy, so she's helping with a lot of things. She actually designed the logo and is helping out with quite a bit of that. Yes, you may. Thank you for asking. Some of it's still up here, but those are the three commitments that we're asking for, okay, in order for you to join the group. The group is actually ready, and I formed it already. There's a few folks that are in it right now. I've placed in there. I call them kind of the group's founding members, because they're simply a team of folks that started on this journey with me last month, that are trusting me enough to to stick by it. And I will I think we just need to do this. So going back to the run in the park, I had this call had been placed on my heart a while back, like when I talked about you know, how can I not share, and how can I not share this freedom and these experiences. But I really kept putting it off. And there's always a reason. We're always busy. There's always a lot of other things to be doing. Really kept putting it off. Just saying, well, I'll get to it. I'll get to it after this is done, and we'll see what God has for me. Well, the other day, the reason for the live video in the park was because I was listening to another podcast, and to paraphrase my pastor from today, the Lord seriously just stuck his foot up my tailpipe and said, do this. do this. There are other women that we can do this all together. There's other women that can benefit from this, and stop keeping this to yourself. So again, this is definitely not me, definitely not of me. This is all of Christ, and why the third commitment I'm asking for is for us to pray and keep him at the center of this. But I really believe that we are meant to do life together, and health and fitness is part of that. So what I would like to do is I'm going to put together a Google document, I believe, or perhaps an online form, depending on how quickly I can get one or the other done, that would have those 3 commitments on there. And I would like for, if you're interested, you can simply comment on this video at some time to say, I'm in. And if you are in, I will add you to the group. I have to add you because, of course, it's closed. And then once you're in, if you have someone that you believe would be interested in it, you are more than welcome to invite them. What'll happen is you can add them to our team, Fierce, Fit, and Faithful, and then I just get alerted to that. So I am using the moderator part of it to make sure to approve folks that are adding, just because the little bit of research I've done with Facebook, there can be weird creepers out there that like to look for all women, all female health and fitness groups, and then they pose as females, and then they get in on our secrets. So we are going to we are going to make it that way. So I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. See, squirrel. Anyhow, so you can, if you'll comment here when we're done or whenever that you're all in, then I will add you to the group. And as soon as the commitment form, the Google Doc or the online form is ready, I'm going to ask you to review it and to sign it. Again, this is not so much a covenant between you and I, okay? It's a covenant between us, the group. It's accountability. We sign covenants for different things, for different ministries that we work in, for at the church, and when you're taking a job or what have you. I believe there's power in signing your name or having to check a box or something like that. So I'm going to ask you to do that. And then we'll get started. And like I said, there's going to be incentives for you to be engaged every day. There's going to be encouragements for you to check in, for you to post. I have set up the group so that you can post, and I'm not going to need to approve the posts. I assume once I've put you in the group and once you're authorized to be in the group, then I'm going to trust that you're going to post appropriate content. I'm really not concerned about that. So we will work through these nuts and bolts together, okay? Now, what I do want to tell you about is several of you have asked what I've been doing specifically. So I've been doing the accountability groups since November, and obviously for all the reasons that I've said have been amazing. And when I started in November, I simply worked my running routine where I ran 3 to 4 times a week with Luke Skywalker. I worked that into my accountability groups. As I made new friends, and as I, just checking the time because I promised you guys I'd keep this to under an hour. Okay. As I made the new friends and I saw what other folks were doing, some of the things that I had really sworn off and thought I would never do, I decided to take a chance. So as you've seen, I post pictures or videos of myself and Nicholas doing at-home workouts, and I couldn't be more pleased with them. They work really well, excuse me, for me because one, we travel a lot, and so if I am not in a place where I feel safe running or there's not a treadmill at the hotel, then I know I have my phone with me, and I usually have my laptop, but you can even download workouts and stream them off your phone, which is what I was doing when I posted that crazy one earlier this week out when I was in West Texas, and I was doing a sneak peek of the Shift Shop, a new program that's coming out. I was simply watching that on my phone, and I asked Nick to come out and take a couple clips of Nicholas and I. So so there's at-home workouts that I've incorporated. And in fact, I just finished what's called a 21-day fix / running hybrid, where I would run 3 days a week, and then I would do an at-home workout program called 21-day fix. And once I finished that, I was a little frustrated that I hadn't started doing that kind of cross training earlier. So because I saw my time on my runs drop for the first time ever, and I actually started seeing definition in places where like you don't really see definition anymore, you know? And so again, I'm really not worrying so much about the numbers on the scale or about, you know, how the physical appearance is looking. I'm just asking the Lord to guide me. But there is quite a bit of encouragement when your husband gives you a birthday card that says, hey, you know, I'm really proud of you and you're such an amazing wife and a godly mother and what have you. And by the way, your booty's looking really great. So, you know, I'm sorry, but that's just really nice to hear. So I am doing a hybrid of that. So I know those of you, I have one of my dear friends, she likes to go to the gym. She likes to get out of the house, and that is fantastic. She also is incorporating these at-home workouts and downloading them because when she travels, she can do them in her hotel room, and she won't miss a workout because she can't obviously take the gym with her. So these are amazing workouts. You've heard about a lot of them. 21-day fix. There's P90X. There's Insanity. I do a lot of T25, which are 25-minute workouts. We're talking workouts put together by super trainers that are maximum 30 minutes long. And so really now my drive to the gym is, I've canceled my gym membership. So there I'm saving a ton of money there, which is fantastic. But my drive to the gym now is turning on my laptop. Now, when I said earlier that these accountability groups opened me up to something that I never thought I would do, that's one of those things. I had done like the Jane Fonda workouts and the Jazzercise VHS tapes. Yes, I am 41. A while back, and it just wasn't my thing. But this is, as you can tell from the videos and the pictures, they're just fantastic. And I've really enjoyed incorporating the light weightlifting and all of that good stuff in there. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. Like I said, with my nutrition, I really have to be careful with food. I try not to go, I definitely don't go any kind of crazy restricting or crazy fad diets, because that is a slippery slope that I just fall off of. However, what I learned in these accountability groups is basic portion control, and I shoot for what I like to call an 80-20. I shoot for 80% clean. And when I talk about clean, I'm talking about like God food that's from the earth. It's not there's not a lot of process. There's not artificial stuff in it. We're talking, you know, vegetables. We're talking grains, whole grains, nothing that's been refined. I think most of you know what that is, but I will talk more about that. I hope all of us will talk about what we're doing, nutrition wise in the group and share. Because I know that some of us are doing different things. So I will talk about what clean eating is, and I've learned so much about it. Some people know a ton because it's been around for a long time, but I was not. I was the girl that was like, oh, these 100-pack little Oreo things, those would be great, 100 calories, you know, great. Yeah, and they are tasty, but I shoot for the clean because I feel better. And then I enjoy the 20%. In fact, I posted in our little accountability thread earlier this week when we were in West Texas that I enjoyed some German chocolate cake till no end, because my great aunt is straight from Germany and she makes it like the real deal. I'm not going to feel guilty about it because I save that for my 20%. And like I said, I focus on portion control. And so what I was introduced to in my accountability groups is what's called a portion fix system. So ironically, I was using these containers earlier as the compartment illustration, but this is the portion. They actually work really well to show you that, but what they actually are from is from the portion fix system that I was introduced to. And so you really, instead of counting macros or carbs or calories or all of this stuff, you just pick a container and you portion it out, and it's about as simple as it can get. So that's what I'm doing for nutrition. The other thing I'm doing and that has really kickstarted my weight loss. Like I said at the beginning, I was at my highest weight in November other than pregnancy. And so the other thing that I'm doing is a meal replacement, and it's not a protein shake. It's actually a superfood meal replacement shake, and I absolutely adore it because it's low calorie, extremely low sugar. The shake has 7 grams of all natural sugar, and everything in it is either a plant or an herb or a fruit or a vegetable or something exotic that I can't even pronounce. And so I actually use it as a meal replacement. I love it because I drink the chocolate part of it, and it is extremely tasty. I throw peanut butter in it. I actually have tons of different flavors, but it has an extremely low glycemic index. And I'm just gonna do TMI real quickly. But one of the biggest reasons that I decided to try the meal replacement shake, or some people use that as a snack, the snack shake, was because in one of the accountability groups, one of the ladies kept talking about how it really helped with her digestion and her GI regularity. So yes, and I just noticed yes, Lisa, I just noticed your comment, the poop powder. So TMI, it used to be an event in the Miller household when that would happen for me. And whenever this woman talked about having a very similar history with that, and she said that revolutionized her GI tract, I thought, well, I'm already in and I see this is working, so I'm going to give it a shot. And so, wow. Every day, every single day. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so if you are interested in that, I will post some more information about that in the group, and I can send you a link on how to do that. It's all ordered online. And it's fantastic. I couldn't be more excited about it. And those in my small accountability group have been using it and drinking it, and we share recipes about that, and I get really excited about it. So you'll hear me talk a lot about my meal replacement and my snack shake. It's so tasty that the pickiest eater on the planet, my husband, drinks it every day. And he has made very little change to his health and fitness, even though I'm praying on that. No longer nagging, I'm praying on it. He has incorporated the meal replacement shake. It's a high protein, high fiber, low sugar, tasty meal replacement. He's incorporated that every day, and he's already lost 12 pounds just by doing that. That's the only thing they've done. So there's tons of different flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, greenberry, which tastes like Captain Crunch, cafe latte, lots of stuff. So I will post a link for that. Real quickly, because we are right at the 1 hour mark, the last thing I want to say, and I'll post some more details about this, the crazy video sneak peek fast motion thing that I posted earlier, the outdoor workout from West Texas. Sorry, I'm having a squirrel moment. The Shift Shop sneak peek. That program launches in a week. And a couple of gals from my small accountability group, my small little tribe, we're all doing it together. And I have seen some transformation stories and pictures and, oh my gosh, some stuff from some test groups that have done it, and I could not be more excited. I do really well with structure. I need a plan. Even when I'm running, I don't just go start running. I have a running plan. I need somebody to tell me, or something to tell me what to do every day and how to do it, and that kind of stuff. I do really well with that, with fitness and workouts. And the Shift Shop looks amazing. So I'm really excited about that. So if you want to be, I will post some information about the Shift Shop as well. And if you would like to do that alongside of us, that will be something you will see in the group anyways, because when I'm checking in on a daily basis and posting my workout, I will be posting about the Shift Shop. It's a 3-week program, so you're going to see a lot about that. So that was a really quick rundown. I want to let you guys go because we're all busy. We all have families and things that need to get onto. So if you are in, comment here in the event or on this live video that you are all in, and I will add you to the group. Or if you don't want to comment here, private message me, text me, something like that. Gonna have to get out of your comfort zone though, because that's part of accountability, but that's okay. It's all about baby steps. I'm there with you. You're all in. In the group, I will start posting some more information about what I talked about towards the end about what's been working for me. And then as soon as I have that accountability document with the 3 commitments on there, I'll post that, and I will ask you all to fill that out. So what I'm going to do real quickly before we sign off is go back and see if there are any questions. I tried not to focus on the questions because I didn't want to have too many squirrel moments. Thank you guys so much for your love and your recipes. Does that mean they have to be healthy? Well, Tanya, you know I am the first one to steal your recipes. In fact, your chicken dish is one of my most favorite dishes and favorites of my boys. So what is a healthy dish? So I think really a lot of things can be healthy if you're watching your portions, right? And also a lot of things can be made healthy. I've actually tweaked that chicken dish you gave me. It still tastes exactly the same, but it's got a little less fat and a little less sugar. So that's one of the things we can talk about in this group is what does healthy look like? It doesn't have to be low fat, low carb, gluten-free, all of that all the time. In fact, some of that stuff has got more artificial stuff in it than the regular meat and potatoes that my grandparents used to eat, okay? So what else here? Diet Coke. Hey, Mandy, you know that used to be one of my vices. And although I've given up almost all my vices, I'm down from 1 a day down to I allow myself 3 a week. And sometimes I don't even get to that 3rd one. But Diet Coke, man, it's good. Okay. Thank you for the love, Tiffany. You're amazing. Yes, who needs the kick in the tailpipe? Yes, Mandy, you will be able to watch this video again. So it'll be here in this group and then in this event. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload it to YouTube and then post it in the group, in Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful. So you can come back in anytime. Richard Simmons, yes, I was thinking about him. Yes. Do you do that 80-20 every day or in a week? So it's really just kind of a concept of trying to make sure that I'm eating 80% clean. I guess I probably look at it on a weekly basis because I do save the bulk of my 20% for my post-church meal. Most often we go to Los Cuates after church, and I'm not going to get the red chili cheese enchiladas with the egg on top. Okay, so that's obviously I save a lot of that 20% for that. So it's probably in a week. The containers, Mary, I will post on that. The shake, absolutely not. It is not gross. It's incredible. If you've done protein shakes or like GNC, things like that, put those out of your mind. This is superfood. It's all whole ingredients, so you're not talking any processed stuff, nothing manufactured, okay? Courtney Bird, I will let her know about that. Thank you. And I will post about the meal replacements if you guys have questions about that. Brownies in the car. I have a recipe for Shakeology brownies, Leah. Oh my gosh. And absolutely, Stephanie, I understand. Girl, yes, pray on it. If you would like, if any of you want to take some time to pray on this, please do. Definitely. We all want to be on one accord, and this offer does not expire. My prayer is that Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful will come and will grow and will just be able to help each other and find that hope in letting Christ into that part of our lives, and then keep each other accountable in that. So if you would like, for those of you, Stephanie, and for those of you that want to pray on it, if you'd like to be added to the group, and then so you can kind of look around. There's not a lot there now, but look around and then decide later, because you just you want to see what the Lord has for you, then fantastic, do that. Absolutely. I totally understand and believe that, and 100% on board with that. All right, ladies. So I'm so sorry I kept you over. Those of you that know me should be very pleased. I only kept you 7 minutes over. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to go feed my pets. They are circling me like sharks right now because it is way past dinner time for them. So I'm going to go. And if you are all in, you know how to let me know, and I will start adding folks right away. I do want to qualify, like I said at the beginning of the call, that we are headed out on vacation for a week, but nicely with smartphones, we can, you know, keep in touch, and I will stay active with this, and I have a laptop that goes with me just about everywhere. So that's kind of cool. That's another reason why this team will be perfect, is because you can stay accountable and stay focused on your spiritual and physical health, even on the road, even when you're not home. No more excuses, right? All right, guys, I love you so much, and thank you so much for all the support and the interest, and feel free to spread the word, and we'll talk soon. You guys have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.